Good afternoon, traders. Hope you guys are having a great one. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a quick price action review of the indexes, Mag 7, and some of the stocks I'm currently looking at. If you guys appreciate this content, please like, subscribe, comment. It's always greatly appreciated. But without further ado, let's get into it. So I'm going to start with Apple, then we'll go over Microsoft and Google specifically in detail, just because we had earnings today. So Apple. So the big thing on Apple was that, let's flip to the daily. We're able to barely hold that 187.45. Kind of got an evening star close yesterday. So the big thing I would watch on Apple is if you get a close below 187.45, you could push back down to 180 again. It looks like you're possibly putting in a lower high at the moment. The question is, do we get a lower low? I wouldn't get bearish or bullish on Apple. I would get bullish if you get over 200. I would get bearish on them if you get below 165.67. Specifically, if we get a weekly close below 169, I would start to look to get bearish on Apple. If you get a close below 180 on the weekly, then you could obviously play the downside. Microsoft, let's see how we're doing after hours. So I know Microsoft had an earnings beat, but the conference call begins in about 4 minutes. So they can beat earnings, but the guidance is the most important part. And considering what's going on geopolitically with Israel, Palestine, Ukraine, Russia, and how the whole entire world's basically involved into this, along with that, you have strain on supply lines. I believe that they're going to give negative guidance, just in my opinion. I would not be shocked on that. But then you also have FOMC tomorrow. That's going to be the big one as well. If that goes well, then that could save Microsoft and Google if they give bad guidance. But let's just say hypothetically that FOMC does not go as planned and it goes south. It could also be the nail in the coffin as well and cause a substantial move to the downside. But tomorrow, what I would be interested to see in Microsoft is if we can hold daily levels at 394, 400.62. That would be important for the bulls to maintain that. If you break down those, bears could possibly push it to 384.30, back to a test the latest all-time high. But I would say if bulls have control of this and it ends up pumping after the conference call, you could get 420 pretty easily, I think, in the next coming weeks. Just my opinion on it. NVIDIA, let's see how we did. NVIDIA didn't have an all that bad close. Earnings are not until way far out. I believe they are what? What's it? 221. So you have a bit before that. I tell you, the bull trend is still intact. You barely were able to clear the range right here at 628.24. Personally, as you guys know, I sold on this candle right here at 124. So I was all out there. I believe the momentum was starting to get weak, especially with FOMC and big tech earnings coming into this week. I didn't want to be someone holding the video. Meta, not looking half bad. Let's see how we're doing after market. I know so we're dropping off a little bit. But the big level I'd watch, I mean, again, Meta, I like Meta. Volume's picking up, so that's always good. But what I'm concerned about is on the breakout, it was not the heaviest volume and not the most confirming candle. Plus, on the weekly, you're quite extended. I mean, this thing has just been a rocket. I mean, I'm all for playing the markets both directions, being just playing the price action, not really caring about how you feel about the stock. But at the same time, you also have to ask yourself, is this really healthy? And look at the chart. I don't think so. And it looks like it's starting to get a little weaker and weaker on the weekly, just my opinion. But then again, I don't play what looks. I don't like to play stocks that possibly might be extended. I like to just play the price action and what the market tells me. So if Meta still tells you to buy and go up, then you might as well go along with it. Tesla. What I would watch on Tesla for tomorrow is if we continue to reject that 194 level, you could get a push back down to 180. Below 180, you could get a push back down to 160. On the weekly, as you can see here, you continue to reject that 194 level. That's going to be major. If you break down 180, that'll also be a major level, as you can see from other previous times. Google, I believe, is selling off. They beat earnings, but I believe that some type of sales data disappointed, something down the lines of that. I believe their conference call is at 4:30. Well, apparently it's at 3:30, but I don't think that's right for some reason. I believe it's at 4:30. So, what I would watch, at least on Google, is again the whole thing with the geopolitical pressures and supply chain strains. I'd also watch to see how guidance goes. I mean, if this selling continues, I would really watch 141.42. If you break below that, things can get ugly on Google. I'll be a buyer maybe at 136 if it really pushes. That might be an interesting level to watch. But I'm really hesitant about giving what I think that Google might do until after the conference call comes out, because it's really 50-50 at this point. Amazon. So Amazon, let's see. We are at, how are we looking after market? I know they were selling off a bit. Yeah. So 157, we'll call that. So you break below 157, you could get a pushback to 151, above 160, or no, above 161.5. I believe you can get 164. NASDAQ didn't close half bad, as expected, rejecting 15.6. And then you have the S&P not doing half bad either. Indecision, as expected, with everything that's going on this week. And we'll just see how SPY and QQ are handling all this data. It's not holding up half bad, I'll tell you that much. And then the Qs are probably going to get hit harder. Overall, not bad. They're both holding up nicely, but we'll see by tomorrow morning how it really goes. Trades I'm watching are going to be, let's go to stocks in play. So GS. Goldman Sachs is going to be an interesting trade. I thought about getting to Bank of America, but then I zoomed out, realized that the trend was actually down, not up. At least with Goldman Sachs, the overall long-term trend is mostly higher. We got some consolidation going on, but I believe if we can clear this 389 level, we could push to all-time highs at 426. So my idea is, and I like the way that we had when we were coming up to here. I like how we have a lot of volume coming into this. I'll put my stop like right here. Maybe run, if we, let's say tomorrow we close at 393, run about a 5% stop. I think that would be very good on a breakout on the base. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a breakout tomorrow on GS. I'm just saying, but that's what I'm watching.